A few years back when our staff and our overseers got together to talk about our vision, it was back when we were at Old Rover, at the Land Rover dealer. Every time people would come to our welcome home lunch and we'd ask them why they came back, they would say it felt like home and they felt like they could rest. We had a lot of people that had come from other churches and even had been in professional ministry. Lots of ex-pastors ended up coming to our church. And also people that were completely disconnected and didn't know God, had not really been in a church, but that felt like something different, more like a living room. And they said they felt like they were home. So when we defined our church as our vision, we used those two words, home and rest. That we want to be home for the wanderer and rest for the weary. You know, Jesus said, come to me, all you who are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I'm gentle and humble in spirit, and you will find rest for your souls. Or as the Message version says it, are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me, work with me. Watch how I do it. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. I had been at a retreat where I'd memorized that, and I was thinking, man, that's an ad for the kind of church I would want to be a part of. And so it stuck. And so we had these two words, home and rest. We knew we didn't want to be a rest home. There's one of those next door. But we did want to be the kind of place where people that are weary from striving to please God or working on religion can find a place to rest in the finished work of Christ. People that have a guilty conscience, that have been doing their best all their life. The story that capsulized this whole thing was the story of what's typically known as the prodigal son. But the Bible says it's a story about a father who has two sons. And so this story of the father who's generous says that his younger son asks for his inheritance early, runs off to a foreign land. You've heard the story. Blows it all in wild living, hits rock bottom, comes home. Dad runs to him with open arms, throws his arms around him, kisses him. You know, it says, bring the best robe, put it on him, bring his shoes for his feet, ring for his finger, give him my credit card. You know, he was dead, he's alive. Let's celebrate. Let's kill the fatted calf and have a party. And so they have this party. And that's the way that the father is with his wandering sons and daughters. All of us have wandered away from God at one point. And when we come back, God is happy to see us. Not with a lecture, not with I told you so, you should have, but with open arms, with full inclusion in the family. And that's what we want to be for people that have wandered far from God. And we want to be that kind of church. But we also want to be a church that's there for the other brother. And that other brother was out in the field while they were throwing the party, and he heard the music and the dancing, and he comes in, he goes, what's going on? And somebody told him, your brother came home. He's like, that good-for-nothing brother. I can't believe my father's throwing a party. And he wouldn't go into the party. So his father has to come out and beg him. But he's ticked. He's like, all these years I've been slaving for you, and you never even gave me a goat to celebrate with my friends. Here this son of yours, who's been wasting all your money on prostitutes, comes home, and you kill the fatted calf. And the father says, look, son, everything I have is yours. I'm always with you, but we had to celebrate. This is your brother. He was dead. He's alive. He was lost. He's found. And the story ends with not really knowing whether the older brother actually came in to the party. And it was Jesus really pointedly speaking to those older brother types in his day, the Pharisees, who were very religious, very concerned about doing it right, just like a very responsible older brother. But those that are doing it right kind of get a little resentful when other people get all the blessings, or when they don't get what they think they got, or when they think like that brother thought, that he was a slave, rather than realizing that he's a son, that his father's always with him, and that everything that his father has is his. I want people to know who they are and how valuable they are to the Father. And we want to be the kind of church that welcomes home the wanderers and that is a place to rest for the weary.